You filthy animals, welcome back to the next in my training vlogs. Today is going to be much the same as the last episode. I'm going to be doing a lot of so I've moved from snatch triples to snatch doubles at the moment, so the triples kind of wore themselves out. I got maybe 3 weeks out of them, and I went for maybe close to 4, and the 4 was too many, so I held on to it again for too long, so there was just no need to do that. So I got to the 3s, I got to 130 for a very easy triple, and to be honest, when I did that, I should have stopped after 2 weeks. And when I got to that, I should have done 135 on that day and I would have been pretty happy with that. But instead I tried to pull back a little bit and then work up again. But the triples was too much and there was no need for them. However, I did benefit from the triples in some ways. Obviously, overreaching that you recover from, which I have recovered from, is mostly a good thing, especially in weightlifting, or any sport really. So I've moved back to doubles for the time being. The intensity of doubles isn't that high. Today I'm just going to work up to 120 again, maybe 125. So obviously my best, a couple of weeks ago I was doing 140 2 or 3 times a week for doubles, and that was quite good, so I'm going to try to push that out again. But at the moment I'm just going to get some more doubles in at moderate weights, kind of like 120s, so I'll go from waves maybe 100 to 125. If I feel very good I'll do 130, but there's no need to push it too fast yet. That'll do later this week or sometime early next week, and then I'll push it again. Currently still doing higher reps in the clean and in the jerk separately, so working on the clean and the jerk. So I won't be jerking today, so I jerked yesterday, did about 6x3, and today I'm going to work up to hopefully 150 for 3s, but if it feels like it's time to drop the 3s again, then I will drop them and do doubles and more sets of doubles. So what I was previously doing was work up to 8 tops at a 3, but small jumps all the way up. So if I was getting to 140, I would go like 100, 110, 115, 120, 125, 30, 140, something like that, so get a lot of extra sets in. But if I'm doing doubles, I'll take maybe 10 kilo jumps, maybe more, 20, depends what I'm feeling, and then do tops of the doubles, more doubles. But ideally I would like to do some more triples for another week or two in the cleans and clean the jerk separately, because the jerk's improving a lot and I feel like my clean is improving a lot. So today I'm doing snatch doubles, clean 2 to 3s depending on how I feel. Then I will be doing some front squats, so that'll be between 2 and 3 reps again for multiple sets, so somewhere between 170 to 190, maybe more, depends how I feel. And then after that I will be doing clean deadlifts. So the clean deadlifts have been kind of more sets at moderate weight, so I haven't been pushing the intensity in those yet. So I'll go somewhere between 200 to maybe, if they feel very, very light, I'll do 220 for triples. But there's no need to push those yet, so it's just enough to do multiple sets at 200 kilos, maybe 210. And we will chat after and see how it goes. Alright, so that went pretty good, pretty happy with that session. So the snatch went as planned. I wanted to get to 125 for a double and I did it. So as you've seen, so I worked up from 100, 110, 115, 120, back down again. First wave wasn't too bad. As usual, as the second wave starts, my technique gets a little bit better. Not as expected, but I assumed 125 would feel a little bit heavy in the first rep, but the second rep was pretty good. So the thing with weightlifting is, different rep ranges are like different lifts, almost like a different discipline. So in my head, going for a triple as opposed to a double or a single, it kind of takes up a different kind of volume of space in my head. And that's not a volume pun in terms of training, as in my head it's a larger section, so I'm not going all out on the first rep of the triple. I'm kind of conserving myself for each rep, and then on the third rep you're not as lazy, but you've expended so much energy, so there's only so much you can give. So going from a double, or going from a triple to a double, it takes a little bit of adjustment time, and obviously you have to build up on the weights again, because as you know, if you try weightlifting or basically kind of any strength sport or any kind of resistance training, you'll know that different weights feel different. So no matter how much base volume you put in at lighter weights, you still have to move through the weights and practice these weights, because each weight range or percentage of your 1 RM is a different kind of skill. So 75 to 80% is a specific kind of skill, 80 to 90 is a different kind of skill, and then 90 to 100 or 100 plus are different skills again. So I knew, given that I'd done lots of sets of 120 and various different things like 1 snatch and 2 overhead squats or power snatch triples and stuff, but I knew as soon as I add on a little bit of weightlifting's kind of funny like that, that 125 actually felt heavy off the floor on the first rep, and then the second rep was easy. It's just a skill I need in practice. Cleans, really happy with the cleans. So I was saying I was going to aim for either 150 for a triple or maybe sets of 2, but I ended up finishing on 145 for a triple, and I was really happy with that. It was really good. My clean has improved an awful lot. So if you're struggling with the clean and the jerk, either one or the other, and I've tried this with some of our athletes at Sika, I've separated out the clean and the jerk, so you can really focus your energies on each one appropriately, so you can get more volume in one session and really refine your technique. So for me, it's helping an awful lot. So one of my biggest issues with the clean, I mentioned this previous video, my turnover. I'm not pulling fully in the turnover. I'm not active in the pull. I'm not pulling myself under the bar. But these felt really good. The 145 felt great for 3. The lighter welts especially. So I had planned to, if I wasn't feeling fantastic, I was going to take smaller jumps. So you saw I did like 105, 115, 125. And if I didn't feel great, but I knew I needed more volume, I would have gone 130, 135. But then once I did 125, I knew 140 would be worth the jump, and then I would decide 145 or 50. And I'm sure I could have made 150. I don't think it'd be an issue. But my most recent triple was 140, so I just need to overload a little bit. Just got to add some kind of weight. So 145 was an appropriate selection. I'm very happy how it turned out. I don't really think it makes that much of a difference to 145 or 150. Later this week and next week I might jump to 155 instead of doing 50. It wasn't really, kind of depends on the day a little bit, as long as I'm overreaching and pushing the weights. And then after, so I worked up to 180 for a double, for 2 twos actually, sorry, in the front squat. It felt really strong. I feel my squat is coming along again. It's getting nice and strong. Took a little bit of time to adjust to lighter body weights, but I feel like it's getting there, holding the full grip of the bar again. And I feel like I'm really benefiting from that, and these felt really strong. And I'll push north of the 210s at least in the next few weeks, potentially 220s or more, maybe 230 plus, who knows, see how it goes, depends how I feel. And then after, I moved to I literally did 2x3 at 200 kilos in the clean deadlift. I did no warm-up sets. So in weightlifting it's important to monitor your total number of lifts. So a lot of times you see, especially Eastern European weightlifters, talk about total tonnage in this in a session, or total number of reps over a given kind of phase of training, or over a year, especially if you read some of the Soviet textbooks. And so lighter pulls can be a waste of time sometimes, so it depends what you're going for. So I'm not looking for the technique on these pulls, I'm literally looking for a heavy pull. So I literally just loaded 200 kilos on the rack and dropped it off. I did 2 sets of 3. They felt quite easy, but I was a little bit fatigued obviously from the higher volume session. But 2 sets of 3 is enough for me. A minimum of 2 sets at heavier clean deadlifts for me is enough. And for most people, if you're just trying to kind of keep consistent with the strength, kind of maintain it somewhat, I'll push those heavier weights again in maybe like 2 to 3 weeks and push them towards, so I think the last kind of 6-week kind of macro cycle I did was, or micro cycle even, I got to 240 for sets of 3, and they were very easy. So I looked to maybe push to 250 for sets of 3. I might have done 250 for sets of 3. I could have if I needed to, but I didn't. There was no need, especially because it felt strong. So the fact that it feels strong is enough. And then that was it. So very happy with this. Clean is improving. Snatch will get there again, so it's going the way I want it to be. So some of the things, to make it kind of clear for the benefits for you, and if you enjoy obviously watching my training. So I laid out what I wanted to do before the session. It was appropriate. I didn't aim for ridiculous weights, because you gotta, like, I'm looking long term, the growth mindset we always talk about in the podcast. So this was absolutely perfect. So just pushed 5 kilos on the clean for triple, snatch, and nice little gains. I'm very happy with that. Technique is feeling good. Yeah, very happy. I will try, if you want to see kind of this similar session again next week with progressive heavyweights, let me know in the comments. Or if you'd like to see kind of one of the lighter sessions, which I'll probably do, I think anyway, I'll do my kind of power snatch session with my jerks and rack, and then I will show some back with that one, I think, as well. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one, or Fitz's as well.